Last week, I started the vlog off with sitting down and taking a deep breath and going, it's been a lot.
That's funny.
That's literally what I said last week. Like I said, and I was like, it's been a lot.
Yes.
Also, before, I just need everyone to see this right now. Look at that. Wow. We are, where are we right now, babe?
We're in Santa Monica, and that over there is where the Palisade fire was.
Yeah, so actually let me show you guys. I'm gonna zoom in, and literally that entire side over there is where that's Palisades. We are in Santa Monica, and we are staying here for the night. So last week I said it's been a week, and that was last Saturday.
Okay.
You were already
Here.
You were already here. Like she's been here for like a month. So like the entire last vlog, you weren't even on it because you were gone. And then, so Saturday, actually, I was kind of starting to figure out how to get here. Had we started figuring out how to get me here yet?
I don't know. I feel like Sunday maybe because, no, it was Sunday.
Because I wanted to fly on Sunday, but the tickets were too expensive. So
okay.
I bought the ticket on Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah, I bought the ticket on Saturday. Because I finally just asked you.
Well, your dad was not well, so you stayed in where do we live? Nashville.
Yeah.
To see who was going to race to the pearly gates.
Yeah, my dad was going south.
First, yeah. So.
Oh, that's right. Because at the end of the episode, my dad just suddenly was great. He was walking around. He was perking up.
But we didn't know that, so that's why you stayed.
Yes, and then when I felt good enough that my dad wasn't going to pass away, I got on a plane and I literally raced to Fresno. Now, you had.
I came out on Tuesday.
You come out on Tuesday. Your mom was in the hospital. You'd taken your mom back home.
Thursday or Friday, yeah.
And you were it's a hummingbird. And you guys were at that point just kind of waiting.
Yeah. Look at it, it's eating the flowers.
It is. You want me to try to take a video of it?
You can later, maybe.
Okay. So yeah, we were just kind of waiting.
Yeah,
and
there was lots of waiting, like 6 days of waiting.
Yeah, once he got home, 6 days, which was I think longer than I think maybe most of us thought.
Yeah, because on Tuesday when we got there, she was literally on the death's door.
Yeah.
Step, and so, but she did go to the hospital, got some drugs in her, got some, like rehydrated, and I think that kind of helped her body to go another few days.
Yeah, and so I fly. So like I wake up in LaSalle, it takes me to the airport at 5 a.m. I get there, I fly all the way across the country. What, is it back?
I'm just distracted.
Is it back?
It was flying up in the sky right here.
Heather's mom loved hummingbirds. And so, yeah, I mean, I flew across the country. It was, I felt like I was racing. Like racing.
And I didn't because she had been laying there for 6 days. The same way, so I'm like, she ain't gonna die. She had nothing had changed really.
Yeah,
at that point when you got on the plane, I was like,
yeah,
she's still here.
Yeah, and so I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna make it. And so like I'm racing. I land in Salt Lake City, and then I fly to Fresno, land in Fresno, get off the flight, and am like really trying to get to, because they live about 30 minutes from the airport. 30 minutes from the airport, up in the countryside, hillside. And Heather literally was like, hey, can you, what'd you ask me?
Stop and get lunch.
Stop and get lunch. And all I'm thinking.
In town, because there's a great steaks place that we like.
Yes. All I'm thinking is, it's called Doghouse, is no. I can't stop to get lunch. But then I literally had the thought, you know what? I'm not here for Bridget. I'm here for you, is why I flew out here. And so I went and I ordered Doghouse on my phone, and
it
then
was so delicious.
It was. I actually enjoyed it, and then I went and got Doghouse,
and you
then
made it.
I made it. I drove up.
2 hours to spare.
I literally. So way to steal the punchline.
Oh, I always do that.
I know you do that all the. No, it's actually not the punchline, but I got. I drove all the way up to pray. It was beautiful. Well, 12:43 p.m. Fresno, California. I'm driving through some of the most beautiful unknown hills in America.
In about 10 miles, at the roundabout, take the second exit.
Thanks, Siri. The amount of times that Heather and I have driven these roads, back when we were dating and she worked up at this ski resort, I definitely know these turns like the back of my hand. But I'm about 15 minutes away. I'm about 15 minutes away from I'm actually going to stop eating. Heather hates it when I eat on the internet. I'm about 15 minutes away from seeing Heather's mom, and I'll be honest with you, I can't believe she's still alive. Heather told her yesterday that she could pass. She didn't have to wait for me. But it looks like she wanted to wait. I'm grateful. When I first started dating Heather, she was 18. I was 22. And I don't know what her parents thought. Back in those days, I was like, just hardcore, gung-ho, evangelist, Christian dude. And I'm still hardcore, gung-ho, Jesus guy that defines himself as a Christian. I think I approach the world differently. They accepted me. And I'm grateful. I got stuff all over me. I haven't been here. Heather's been here. I don't know how long she's been here. I can't even do the math. I don't know, 5 days, 6 days, a week. They have obviously been grieving together in a way that I haven't. So I'm kind of inserting myself into this. This is what an Enneagram 9 does, okay? I'm just inserting myself into their grief, holding my own differently, and I just want to make sure that I'm respectful. I've never done this before. I'm 51 years old, and this is the first. Heather's father died when she was 16. I haven't had to experience anything like this from like a parental level. Parental, weird. So yeah, I'm just gonna. There's no playbook for grief. I'm just gonna enter in with reverence and joy, and obviously pain. But I'm almost there. I'll probably talk to you guys tonight after I spend some time with the family. And yeah, Bridget. I'm almost there. She
I
wasn't.
don't even remember you
No,
arriving.
I know.
I'm
Let me tell you
sorry.
what happened. I arrived, I got the doghouse, and I walked out and I walked past the bulldozer that's randomly in your dad's yard. I'm not quite sure why there's a bulldozer there, but there is. And I walked in and it was Rachel, maybe Rachel, Jesse, and your mom. And then you came
Where
out.
was I?
Yeah, you
I was
came out. You were
cleaning or
cleaning in the
something?
room, and then you came out and you gave me a hug.
That was nice.
And then I walked over and I just sat next to your mom, held her hand, kissed her, and she was very peaceful.
Yeah, they finally were able to figure out how to.
How to get her comfortable. And within 2 hours
Yeah.
of me getting there, we had, within that 2 hours, gone out to the cabin to start.
It's like a little house next to my parents' house, and we just cleaned
They
it
kind
out.
of use it for storage. And so that was just kind of something that,
We really wanted to set Jesse, my siblings and I really wanted to set my dad up with a clean slate, not like removing my mom, but like cleaning for them. And just, it's been years of him full-time owning and running a restaurant and full-time caretaking my mom. And so things have just been let go of in certain areas. And so we wanted to help get his feet on the ground and give him some space. So there are certain places that were just full of things that could have gotten rid of. So that's what we did.
totally,
We went
papers,
through it all.
went through it all. And so I'm outside, we're burning papers in a fire with the kids. And
And I go in. Are we telling this?
yeah, go ahead. Go. I mean, it's
I
up
go
to you.
inside to kind of check on everything, whatever. And her breathing changed some.
Even when I was there, I realized that her breathing had changed.
Yeah, it had changed some. Not drastically. Not like, oh, this is the end. But then it made me start checking on her more. And so then finally around 4, I checked on her. And I just was like, oh, this seems different. Everyone's saying it was going to slow down. It didn't. It was still very
I was on
rapid,
FaceTime.
but it was different. And so I said, we need to have Dad have a moment with her. Because he'd been busy with us, helping us clean out stuff too. But I wanted him to have like one, if this was.
See, and I didn't know that you
were.
were thinking that. I just thought, oh, my dad just needs some time with my mom. Like, I just thought.
I just was like, he needs to have some time. So tried to wrangle him inside. And finally he did.
And we went
of
outside.
course, everyone came inside when he came inside. But then I was like, okay, let's go, everyone. So we all went out
outside?
by the fire.
Hanging out by the fire. And how, like,
5-10 minutes he comes back out, and I go over to hug him because I thought he was like, okay, I spent time with her, I'm going to go back inside. And he said she passed peacefully.
yeah.
Literally in 5 or 10 minutes. Like the 5 or 10 minutes that he was in there, it just was
That's
so sweet.
that's miraculous. You know,
It was so sweet.
we were talking earlier about how it's like blow after blow after blow after blow after blow.
Still blowing.
And still
There's
blowing.
still some blows.
Oh, I mean, here's the blow. Like, we're in Santa Monica. We're supposed to fly to New Zealand tomorrow. Heather got me a trip to New Zealand for Christmas, and I was going to go fly fishing. We were going to go out there, and we made the decision this morning to not. Why?
Because your dad's
Because my dad's
great.
not great. He's as bad as he's been ever, and so we're flying back home. So it's like blow after blow after blow after blow. But in the midst of all the blows, I think is where a lot of people that are like, "Where's God?" It's like, I mean, what were some of the tiny little miracles that we saw just in that week with your mom?
like simple things like the hotel that we were booked at, the Marriott points that sometimes Carlos sells of his parents. Like we were able to use some of those points to get 2 nights. I just needed 2 nights of peace in between all of this. And then I had called to say, oh, can we get 2 more? And they were like, no, sorry, it's sold out.
Yep.
And then we were looking all over to try to figure out,
all the kids are flying.
kids were already flying in. Couldn't find anything. Well, then the next morning, was that the morning that?
Yeah.
Yeah, the next morning my dad says, I'm sick. We have to cancel the celebration of life.
Yeah. Yeah.
That morning, so I get that blow.
Yeah.
And then that same morning, we get the news that we actually can stay in the same hotel room,
Yes.
which is the best room in the entire resort.
That we've ever been in.
In the entire resort, it's the best room, and we can stay for 2 more nights. And that was just like it just was so sweet. It was so sweet that my dad was in with my mom on the last minute.
Yeah.
It was so sweet that, friends came and surprised me because of the way, companion passes work or things like that Delta gave.
Literally, Heather's never surprised. And
Not.
and again, after your mom passed away and we came back down, actually, I flew to DC and back. I've been all over the place. But Heather gets surprised by Corinne and Shelly. And
That's why I'm not her actress. You guys are the worst.
oh, Shelly. Oh my God. Oh no. No.
That's why you schmoops. Oh my goodness. Hugs.
And then it was sad because we couldn't, see all of your family to celebrate your mom.
Yeah, that was another blow. Was just that, the celebration of life was not able to happen. And being with all my family, my immediate family with my extended family, it's just something special that is.
You want to do that when
you
you celebrate someone's life. You want people that know her and love her. So we did what we could do. And it was still beautiful yesterday.
It was sweet.
It was Heather's kind of beach day.
Yeah, it was cold. It was cold and there was tide pools. That's my kind of beach.
Yes.
But, Jacinda and Sayana, and they just created a beautiful space and put some pictures of my mom in some frames and put some flowers out and had some snacks for her. And it just was tender. It was sweet.
Hi, I'm so happy to see you in the flesh.
Shelly, I hope we're taking all the videos for these kids. This is a fun curriculum.
Blow after blow after blow after blow. What would you say, because you've experienced it this week, if you have a friend that you are seeing is having a life that's giving them blow after blow after blow after blow, like what it almost seems like all you can say is, I'm so sorry. What do you do?
I mean, I think that depends. I mean, for me, I show up for people, so that's just what I do, and so that's naturally what my friends did for me. But that's what I value, and that's what is for me. I think what you don't do is,
this is good.
You don't you don't expect anything from them. You don't get offended if they don't text you back or call you back or any of that.
Oh, you're saying your friends that are going through it.
Yeah, I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Wait,
Yes,
wasn't your
yes.
question for those who
have a friend that's going through it? You don't expect anything from the friend that's going through it.
Yeah. I think for me, the things that have been really sweet are the friends that have shown up, for me, because I was out with my mom earlier before you guys came out, the friends that showed up for dinner for the kids and you at the house, the friends that did show up out here for me, the friends that went and did an errand for me, the friends that, or your brother and sister-in-law sent some food to my parents' house, things like that. That's sending food. It's great. Now, granted, if we were in Nashville and we were having these blows after blows, we would have had more meals than we know what to do with. So you have to
people were sending me meals And
well,
I
right.
wasn't even there.
But like you have to like there is a time and place where people can get too many meals. So it's great.
Okay, sorry, the battery died.
I'm in grief. I don't remember what I remember
Well,
or was saying.
Doesn't remember how to talk. You were just talking about with food, if we're natural.
Yeah, I just think, like allowing people, one thing I think for me, and my friends I think know me enough, but like how I grieve, like I am in so much shock right now. Like I'm not feeling anything.
Yeah.
Like I kind of have to force myself to think about my mom in a place where like I can actually get tears, because I am just literally have had so many blows after blows that my body is just in
shock.
Legitimate. It's self-protection, right? Like it's amazing what my body's doing, and I will try to nurture and care for it in this. But like I think for me, because I'm in this space, it's really hard for me to actually tend to my friends who are more upset than me. And there's not very many, but there are, sometimes our friends that are that way, and like I can't, like I'm sorry, like I really am okay, and it's okay that I don't feel right now.
Right.
Like I will feel, and I will, care. So there you go.
You do care. It's not that you will care.
Well, I just mean like have emotion.
And it'll come out more, because you were
course.
crying a lot.
Oh, I bawled.
Yeah. Yeah, and so, I was even telling Heather, with my dad, we both kind of mentioned how
we were laughing at how, like, my mom had the shortest diagnosis and death, and his dad had the longest diagnosis and death.
Yeah. So, it's literally completely opposite. Okay, so there is a man behind me over here. I don't know if you can hear.
Old man.
Whitney Houston is playing right now, and it's pretty epic. And it's just booming from his jacket. But none of us are mad about it. One of the things that I'm realizing is, we had a pretty like traumatic week 4 years ago, that I documented on Instagram. A lot of you were around here when that happened. Our dog died, our house flooded, a lot of things happened. And this is different because it's like this unrelenting season where there's almost like an anticipatory grief that I'm like hanging on to because I know my dad's not well. And I think what I'm realizing is that like grief and tough times, like they don't follow a schedule. And I think where my brain, and I think it's different than Heather's brain, but where my brain goes a lot of times in seasons like this is, when is it going to end? What's the next thing, right? Where I'm like constantly waiting for the next shoe to drop. And I can quickly get into that mindset. But for me, in this season in particular, there's been one thing that I honestly, like I haven't done in a long time. And there's probably 3 worship songs right now that I just play over and over again that really ground me, I think, in the truth of just the supernaturalness of this entire planet, of God and who he is, of, when I was with her mom and then we were in the room a few hours after she passed away, like there was just something mind-blowing that she was alive and then she wasn't, and where did she go? And those questions start going in my mind, and I think everybody just suddenly starts thinking there's something bigger here. Now the bigger thing that I believe in is what these worship songs are leading me into, which is God and his goodness, even in the midst of all of our circumstances. Just kind of going on and on. There's I shared this on my Mas Familia email. If you guys are on that, you probably heard this already, but there's a show called The Last Kingdom, and it's a show on Netflix. I wouldn't recommend it to anybody, so don't watch it. But there's a scene where like the hero on the show, he is like rescuing a bunch of people. He's not a Christian. He's not a believer in God or anything bigger than himself, right? And so, there's all these like Vikings that have come in and they're like pillaging the small, township, and something really horrible happens to these nuns. And the hero is like up above where this horrible thing is happening to the nuns. And finally he jumps down and he rescues one of the nuns, and they're sitting by a campfire later that night, and she's crying, and she starts thanking God and praying to God. And he stops her and he goes, he starts laughing, and he's like, why are you thanking God? Where was your God when this horrible thing was happening to you? And literally she looks at him and she goes, God sent you. And it took my breath away, because it showed that in the middle of the most traumatic situation of her life, she saw that God was still there. And it even took his breath away. He stopped. Now, this is a Hollywood writer writing this script, but it got me thinking about this season that we're in, and how it feels unrelenting, but just like Heather was talking about, all these tiny little miracles that we keep seeing God showing up in these seasons. So yeah, I think one of my favorite parts of the last week that I've been here, because it'll be a week tomorrow, has just been the unexpected healing that took place when just our people were gathered together. Now, it wasn't all of our people, because not everybody could be here, but it was like an accidental gathering almost that Heather was talking about when we were all at the Marriott in Newport Beach. And just, Heather, can you sit here for a second? Oh no, are you watching something happening? Babe?
I'm busy.
Huh?
I'm busy.
You're busy? What are you doing?
Videoing.
Oh, sorry. Heather is videoing the sunset right now, which, can I show you the sunset?
I'm waiting for the sun to peek out.
What, baby?
I'm waiting for the sun to peek out.
It is 5:08 p.m. here. The sun sets at
5:19.
19? Mm-hmm. And so, I don't know, the sun, if you can see, you could kind of see a second. Well, let me go ahead. Let me fix this. Here. You guys can see. Heather is in prime.
Oh, sorry.
You're in prime. Catch the sun peek through the clouds.
I was trying to
Oh, no,
until you...
No, it's still got to come, right?
I think so.
Is there a layer or something we can't see it?
I can't tell.
Oh no. Everybody that came in Newport.
Uh-huh.
If you couldn't gather.
It was sad.
Yeah.
And I know there were so many people, like, my uncle wanted to get together. My sister wanted to get together. There was a lot of people that actually did still want to get together, but I didn't want to get together and do something without my family.
Yeah.
This wasn't getting together for the sake of my mom. This was getting together for the sake of me.
Yeah.
And not that the other, like my sister wanted to come and give me a hug. This is a sister that's not a part of my mom's side of the family, so it was my other sister. Not my sister from my mom, that would be weird. But
Yeah.
But yeah, so I am thankful that people wanted to love me.
Yeah.
I just was tired and exhausted, and these certain people I didn't have to do anything. I know the other people would say that I wouldn't have to have done anything with them, but still, it just was what evolved and what happened, and
It was good.
it was sweet. Yeah.
It was good. It was good. And now, again, as we're in Santa Monica, we don't want to do anything. We're exhausted.
Oh, Carl's like, what do you want to do today? I'm like, lay in bed. He made me come out here.
I did. So you don't want to come
it's
here.
nice,
But also,
tired.
it's...
I don't think I think there's a layer.
I'm a little confused as to how it's 5:14
I think there's a
and
layer
the
we're
sun
missing
just
it.
never showed up.
No, I think there's a second layer of clouds that it went behind and we didn't see it, which is a bummer. It still was beautiful, but we're not getting a sunset.
That's a bummer. So we will have one night here. I'm going to be on the Micro podcast tomorrow.
Hopefully
Dirty
we'll go
Jobs,
see my uncle,
Deadliest
Lonnie.
Catch. Possibly go see Nani and her uncle in the morning, squeeze as much as we can, and then fly back to Nashville. Hopefully be back in Nashville by tomorrow night. Do you really know the words? You do. Wow, babe.
That was a live one. There's a small one right here.
Carlos, what's your zip code? 37220.
Ooh, 42!
What's your area code?
That's 615.